Hi, this is Mark Carrington from mybitcoinprofits.com. In this video, I'm going to talk about mining Bitcoin. First of all, what is mining Bitcoin all about? Bitcoin, as we know, is a cryptocurrency, and the way transactions are validated across the network is that the whole network is published across nodes, and the node owners do calculations to validate the transactions. They also have to solve the cryptographic content in each block to ensure that the block is fully secure and the information is all correct. For each block that is validated, they are rewarded currently 25 Bitcoin plus the transaction fees. And there's a block unearthed roughly every 10 minutes. There is a halving of Bitcoin coming up. It will be coming up, it's expected on July the 9th, and the reward will reduce to 12.5 Bitcoin. Now, the mining of Bitcoin has become something like gold mining. In the early days, you could find nuggets in a creek, and then so you were paddling around in your creek in California, and then you heard that there was a gold rush happening in Australia, so you climbed on a ship and went onto the other side of the world to go and find gold in a creek in Australia. And then you find gold on a hillside in Johannesburg in South Africa, and then progressively discover that the gold is deeper and deeper. And now in South Africa, the deepest mines are more than 3 miles below the surface. The cost of extraction is enormous. The cost of air conditioning, refrigeration, just the winding equipment to get men up and down. And so the complexity of gold mining is increasing. The complexity of mining Bitcoin is increasing. It's part of the design. So what has emerged is we have massive data centers that are mining, and you have to keep investing in your processing power to keep ahead. So there are 3 broad options for mining Bitcoin. Well, there are a bit more than that. So let's step 1 level back. You can do it yourself. So buy a piece of equipment and start mining on your PC at home. You can then add your equipment to a mining pool, so you participate in the whole pool, or you can join a Bitcoin miner that is operating as a pool. I'll cover each of those just very briefly to show you what the economics are. I always like talking about data, so I'm going to talk about data. So let's just talk about do it yourself. So to do that, you'll need a piece of specific hardware. It's called an ASIC miner. So the leading producer of ASIC miners is this business called Antminer. So I've just Googled Antminer. It's supplied by a business called Bitmain Tech, and I've just clicked on there and identified this is the leading Antminer equipment called the S9. Its speed is 11.85. That's how many terahashes it can compute. Its price is $1,758 plus shipping. Bad news is that they're actually sold out. But you can buy one of those pieces of equipment and then attach it to your network. And further down in this shipping information is a very important. There's the hash rate, 11.85. So I'll use that number. There's the power consumption, so how much electricity it actually uses. And we can calculate how long it'll take to make a profit. So I have just Googled Bitcoin mining hash rate calculator. This is the calculator that I've selected from a website called bitcoinx.com, and it's calculating on the current Bitcoin difficulty. So we can raise or increase that to change the output. Bitcoins per block is currently 25. The exchange rate when I last looked at this was $674 against the Bitcoin. It's currently a little bit lower than that. 11.85, you'll remember, was the hash rate that we had here. There you go, 11.85. So that's the hash rate that I've put in. I've just left the default cost of electricity. I've no idea if that's a good number or not. It feels roughly in line with what we pay here in Australia, but it's a very important variable. So 11.85 terahash, and the power consumption was 1172, which I think was the number I had in here, 1172. The cost of the mining hardware was 1780 plus shipping, so I've just left it at 1780, and I've put 12 months as the time frame. And profitability decline per year is a factor. That's just a default factor here that accounts for increasing difficulty. Hit the calculate button and let's see if we'll make any money. So what we will produce is 0.0279 Bitcoin in theory per 24-hour period. The electricity will cost us $4.22, so we will make some money. The idea is we'll cover the hardware cost in 134 days. It'll take us as a block solo miner 2 years and 165 days to find a block. So as a solo miner, it's pretty well not going to happen. But you could theoretically make $2,105 in a year. So for an investment of $1,780 for your hardware plus electricity cost, you could make $2,100, provided you found blocks at this implied rate. So that's why that takes us to the second option, is to add your equipment to a mining pool. And there are a number of mining pools that one can join. I haven't really explored those in any detail, but if we have a look here, I'm looking at bitcoinchain.com pools. This is the list of the largest pools, and I know, for example, this pool here called slush pool is joinable. So you can then add your equipment into their pool, and what that does is it gets you closer to this theoretical delivery, because you're pooling all your equipment together, and you get closer to the theoretical delivery, and you don't have to run the risk that it's going to take you 2 years, 165 days to get a block. But I'm not going to explore that one in any detail, because I'm going to talk about joining one of the established Bitcoin miners. So on this list, the one I'm going to talk about, the one that I belong to, is this one down here. It's called BitClub Network. In the last month, they have found 155 blocks, and they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people above them. They're number 6 in the marketplace. And then I'm also going to talk about two other mines, but let's just talk about BitClub Network first. So BitClub Network is grown to, so we've just shown there in the last month they were number 6 in Bitcoin mining. Part of their design is when you buy a pool, they include a compulsory repurchase percentage. You'll remember on that calculator it talked about a 61% decline rate. So what you'd need to be doing to match that is to be repurchasing is at least 39% of all the Bitcoin you invested to keep your processing power up to speed. BitClub Network is a little bit different. It has a network marketing opportunity. So it's an MLM business. So if you can persuade other people to join the club and buy mining pools, you will earn Bitcoin as a commission for each initial purchase they make, and that commission rate is 10% in the early days. And for every repurchase that makes, so when they make one of these repurchases here, you'll earn 5% commission from that. The network is now firmly established. It's proved to itself comprehensively that it is not a Ponzi scheme, and it is actively mining. As we can see here, the Bitcoin mining pools, this is the last month, and there they are sitting, produced 155 mining blocks, and not far behind the the slush pool, which is 198 blocks. So it's clearly they've been in business for over a year. They've been making payments. They do have their own cryptocurrency. It's called Clubcoin. It's going to be used for an up-and-coming merchant platform. The Clubcoin value, they give you one per, I think, $7 of investment that you make, and they're currently worth about 30 cents. They've been as high as 75 cents. And I think the last time I converted Clubcoin to buy Bitcoin, I got 18 cents. Founder pools are still available. Unfortunately, BitClub Network is not available in the United States. Now, there is a membership fee. It costs $99 to join. The minimum pool size is $500, and the founder pool is $3,500. So that is BitClub Network. I'll talk about the networks first, and then I will talk about how to make your decisions. The next one I'll talk about is Genesis Mining. Genesis Mining is a relatively new miner. I am mining both Ethereum and Bitcoin there. They have an interesting business model is that one of their important premises is they recognize that mining Bitcoin is a large-scale business, and one of the options they offer is the option to mine alternate coins and to convert those to Bitcoin. So they actually have 3 mining pools, which we'll cover a little bit later: a Bitcoin pool, an alternate coin pool, and an Ethereum mining pool. What I like about them is they have a low entry point. You can buy for as little as $44, and but you do have to keep repurchasing, because you'll see that your mining returns decline over time. And there is an affiliate program. The attraction of the affiliate program is it gives the people who buy a discount, and you also get additional hashing power to your own account. So that's both a win-win situation. And my Bitcoin mining activity that's actually going on there has come entirely from affiliate payments. So I have not bought a Bitcoin pool, but I have Bitcoin mining going on. And the next one I'm going to talk about is Skill Dragon. Now, Skill Dragon is also an MLM business, although it does have the opportunity to go directly through their Dragon Mine business into Ethereum or Bitcoin mining. So you can just buy a share of an Ethereum or a Bitcoin mine. They also have a low entry rate. So this is what is described here as the retail option, and the pricing is very competitive. I'll go back to the pricing. There's also a wholesale option, so you get better pricing on entering your Bitcoin or your Ethereum mine. But what that option is you join the MLM, and the MLM business has got 2 pieces. It's actually an esports business, so online interactive gaming where people play against each other for money, and a mining business. So you could actually actively build a network of people who are interested in the esports activity or the mining activity, or both. And esports, I've not really pushed the esports side, but the esports is growing massively, for example, in Southeast Asia. Now, this is a cost-effective way to buy hashing power. Now, the 2 models here, there's a $600 joining fee to join the MLM business, compared to BitClub Network, which is only $99, and a $30 per month for a 3-year contract. So you've got to factor that into your costs. The minimum pool size is $500 for the MLM, for the wholesale business, and for the retail business, contracts go as low as $25. So those are the 3 that I'm going to talk about: BitClub Network, Genesis Mining, and Skill Dragon's Dragon Mine. And I'm going to focus on the Bitcoin mining side of this discussion, because otherwise this video will get way too long. So the question then is what is all this going to cost to enter. Now, where shall we begin? I will begin at BitClub Network. So here we have the page for BitClub Network. You can see that I am signed in, and there are 3 pools available: Pool 1, Pool 2, Pool 3, and then you can buy a founder's pool, which is to buy all of those 3 together, which is for $3,500. They give you 600 days of mining, and they have compulsory repurchase levels down at the bottom. So for Pool 1 it's 50%, for Pool 2 it's 40%, and for Pool 3 it's 30%. That means that in Pool 1, 50% of your Bitcoin that are mined are applied to repurchasing equipment. The beauty about that is for every time you purchase one of those, you get 600 days of mining from there. So if you keep this thing running, this repurchase rate running, this actually runs as a perpetuity. So, which is a big flash word for everywhere. You do not have to buy Pool 1, 2, and 3 in order. You can buy them any way you like. And so, in fact, maybe what I'll do is I'll show you what I have got. So there's nothing more important than walking the talk. So those are the mining earnings. I've been mining since September of last year. I think it's September last year. I've earned 6.8 Bitcoin. There are my 3 pools. I have 4 shares in mining pool 1. I bought 3 of those. So one of those, as you can see from here, has been repurchased, is a repurchased share. Mining pool 2, I have 4 of those. I bought 3 of those, so one has been bought as a repurchase. Mining pool 3, I have 2.5 shares. I bought 2 pools in there, 2 shares in there. Currently, I have a repurchase percent set on this pool at 70%. You'll remember the default, the low is 50. This one I also have at 70, is at 40. And this one here, I am repurchasing 100%. I changed this fairly recently. It's basically what I want to do is I'm waiting to get this share up to 3. Now, and there is one area of difference here is that in the early days, BitClub Network, these pools lasted for 1,000 days. So you'll see the first pool I bought on the 4th of November, it expires in 764 days. So it has been going for 236 days. And if we go right down to the bottom, you will see that I have pools that have 1,001 days to go. So that is new mining equipment. So here we've got 1,010. So that's yesterday. Is new equipment that has been purchased, that amount of equipment, and it takes 10 days to commission. It'll start earning in 10 days from then. Now, I've had to do some calculations to work out how much mining power one actually gets for your $500 or for each of the mining pools we draw. So let's just go back to the store, go buy mining shares. So for $500, for $1,000, for $2,000, we do not know how much mining power you are actually buying, which is a little bit of a difference in the way of presenting things compared to what Genesis Mining and what Skill Dragon or Dragon Mine do. So what I have done is I've actually done some calculations, and I'll pull a spreadsheet across here and just to show what those calculations are. So you'll see here pool 1, pool 2, pool 3. These are the number of shares. This is what each share cost in US dollars, although the purchases are actually made in Bitcoin. That's the amount of money that was spent to purchase those shares. These are the number of Bitcoin that have actually been mined per share. These are the number of days of mining, and I've had to calculate that as a weighted average. I have put all of those numbers in here. So one share has been there for for 863 days outstanding, so it's been mining 137 days. You'll remember this number of 236 days. So I've actually calculated the weighted average number of mining days, calculated how many Bitcoin were mined on a day, and then have calculated an implied hash rate. So let's just go to that calculation of the implied hash rate using a hash rate calculator. This is the one I've used. It's called alascomp.com Bitcoin calculator. It's got the current difficulty rate, and what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get this per day figure to be the same as this per day figure. So that'll tell me how much hash rate, effective hash rate, I actually had. So I want the answer to be 007175. So through some trial and error, this is the answer. So that's the number I wanted, 007175. 3044 is the implied gigahash rate. I was having problems with the calculations because I was using terahash, not gigahash. So 3044 gives me 717. That's close enough. So that's what the hash rate was that I bought for $500. Is for $2,000. That's the total. So what I have bought per share is per $500, I've got 758. And then for pool 2 per 1,000 I got 1525, and for pool 3 for the 2,000 I got 3,048. Those numbers become quite important because what I will do on my spreadsheet right now, I will insert a column in here. So this is BCN, and then we will do a calculation here for Genesis to see how comparable they are. And I hope this all works out fine. So we'll just hold those numbers for now, and let's step across to Genesis Mining. So it's genesis-mining.com. I've not logged in here at all, so this is stuff that's available to everybody. And here's a tab called Pricing, which is the one I've pressed. And there are 3 options: lifetime Bitcoin mining, 2-year X11 mining, which is currently on a special offer, and 1-year Ether mining. So we're interested in Bitcoin mining. We have 3 contracts here. So the starting level, you could buy 100 gigahash, costs you $19. You buy 2,000 gigahash, and it costs you $340 US, or you can buy 10,000 and it'll cost you $1,600. So if I then go to my little spreadsheet here, so for Genesis mining for 2,000 gigahash, it'll cost me $340. So I will get 3,000, which is the amount I got there, for $340. Gives me 2,000 gigahash. So I've got 3,000 here, so I'm going to have to scale this thing to make it comparable to this one. So what I've got to do there, I'm going to say equal 340, divide by the 2,000, and then multiply it by this implied hash rate. Or no, I'll do it with this one here. So basically what that tells me is that 340 is the equivalent of paying $128 for versus $500. I think that's the correct calculation. So I've taken that 340, I've divided by the 2,000, so that's what the per is, and then I've scaled it up by the amount of times this one here per share. So I'm comparing this to this. So that's what the Bitcoin Club Network equivalent amount of power would cost me at Genesis. So that tells me that Genesis is appreciably cheaper than BitClub Network. And the reason it's cheaper is that BitClub Network is what you're doing is you're actually buying the ability to increase the Bitcoin you earn by getting other people to join. So it's not a direct comparison of hash rate to hash rate. On dragonminingsystems.com, this is a portal for people that come through my link. There are two options here, Bitcoin mining and Ethereum mining. This one's a little bit easier for me to work out how comparable the prices are. There is a sliding scale of prices here. You'll see the minimum you can buy is $25. So it's 0.1852, 0.1754, 0.1724. So there is a sliding scale. The beauty about doing something comparable here is that for 500 US dollars, I can actually buy 2,700 plus 300. So for $500, I could actually buy 3,000 gigahash. So for $500, buy 300 gigahash. You'll remember here on my calculation here in pool 1, for $2,000, I'd bought 1,000, so that was 2,000 was my total investment. I'd bought 3,000, and at DragonMine I can buy that for $500. Which means that now I need to just get these onto an exactly the same basis. So I want to say 500 divided by 3,000 multiplied by this number here. So if I buy a $500 contract at DragonMine, it's marginally cheaper than Genesis. There is one important difference here is that DragonMine does include a 35% minimum repurchase rate. So that works out cheaper if you go that way at that sort of contract size. And clearly one could go into a larger contract size. No, that's the largest size for DragonMine as at the retail level. The next chart I'm going to put up is the difference in pricing if we between the retail level and the wholesale level at DragonMine. So I have here an income calculator for the Bitcoin for Dragon mining. The blue line is the wholesale price, and the pink line is the retail price. And the difference between that two is, so I'm just going to calculate what the difference is there. I'll put that there, the difference there. I'm going to type in here equals 0.25. I'm going to divide it by 0.2273, and it's a factor of 9%. So it's effectively 10% cheaper. So the wholesale price for DragonMine is 10% cheaper. So we'll just do a quick modification here. Is we will then take this one here and we'll divide it by that. Although I think we have to get the brackets in the right place, and then the number will work fine. So that's effectively the wholesale price for DragonMine at the contract level. One of course has to bear in mind that you do have to cover the cost of a $600 entry fee and $30 per month, so that sort of neutralizes. But again, what that gives you is gives the opportunity to recruit other people into the network, and commission rates are reasonably attractive. They're more attractive than BitClub Network. So there's the summary as to the opportunities for entering Bitcoin mining through the 3 avenues that I am working at. What I do want to talk a little bit about is the importance of repurchasing. And I'll do that by example, by showing what's actually happening on my Bitcoin network. At Genesis Mining. So you'll see here I'm logged into the dashboard at Genesis Mining, and here is the SHA256 is the Bitcoin mine. This is the X11 option, which I do not have any, and this is Ethereum mining, which I do have. And you'll see there's a small amount of processing power here of it's 12.5 gigahash. And I'm just going to go to payouts and just show you what happens with these numbers. So if we go back to we'll just go to May, and we'll see we're paying 1528, 1536. Oh no, there's been a change in the data here because I've actually had increase in processing power. So I'll need to go back to 0.1843 was what I received on the 24th of June, 1728 on the 23rd. See, these numbers they're not totally consistent, but you see they do reduce. 2154, 1873, 1813, 1728. There's a pattern in here that the numbers do reduce. So I've not increased the processing power, so 0.208, so they do reduce. So you do need to allocate an amount of cash every now and then to top up at Genesis Mining. Whereas in Skill Dragon, it's built in, and you have the option to change the amount that's allocated. And in BitClub Network, as I've already shown you, it is changeable anytime, but there is a minimum. The minimum here is 50% on pool 1. I have mine currently set at 70%, so I'm repurchasing at 70%. So it's important to do that. So in summary, what is the best avenue to go is Dragon Mine is providing the most cost-effective rate to enter. It is relatively new operator. It gives you the choice of going between Bitcoin or Ethereum, and it gives you small contract sizes to start as low as $25 if you're interested. Their wholesale model is, as we've shown, is 10% cheaper. You do have to pay that entry fee, but that gives you the marketing rights to get other people into the network and then to earn commissions as they buy their mining pools, and also if they get interested in esports. And then BitClub Network is essentially about the network marketing business on top of the mining pool business, but also it is about the Clubcoin business, which is potentially going to take them into a completely new world. So 3 quite different opportunities. You make your choices. My instinct is to start small and build it up, and as you earn the Bitcoin, work out how to buy more Bitcoin. Please do be aware though that July the 9th there is a halving in Bitcoin, and all the economics that I've talked about could change quite dramatically. We will end by looking at what's happened in the Bitcoin price. Bitcoin price over the last period of time, so this is from the middle of May, the end of May, increased by 75% to the top, 74% to the top, a very strong pullback. It has gone ahead a bit after the Brexit vote in the UK and is now in a consolidation mode, but yesterday or today is in the process of making a lower low. So, and July the 9th is where this arrow is. So my expectation, or I'll rephrase that as that I will not be surprised to see the Bitcoin price settling down here somewhere and then moving ahead. The beauty is when the Bitcoin price goes up high, if you're already holding Bitcoin price, your entry point for going into BitClub network gets cheaper because you have to buy in Bitcoin, whereas the others you can buy in US dollars or in Bitcoin. That gives you much more flexibility to start straight away. So that's it for me. I hope that helps, and if there are any questions, please put them in the comments box below. You will find all the links, including any discount codes, in the box below as well. Thank you. Happy Bitcoining and happy mining.